Yes then, we are back with another video, and today we have got the best defenders in FIFA 22 at this current moment. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button and consider subscribing, and let's just jump straight into it. The number one being on our list is Ruben Dias, Team of the Year. This card is fantastic. I was lucky enough to pack him, and he has been absolutely unreal for me. The only thing that lets him down is his balance, but as you can see there, his acceleration and sprint speed do keep up very, very well. In terms of his traits, nothing too crazy to talk about, but he has got links to one of the best left backs, which we will talk about later. Moving on to the next player, it's going to be Prime Moments Maldini. As we all know, this card is ridiculous. He is currently out as an SBC, so you can grind it with all the fodder you're getting from Team of the Season. Overall, you can play him left back, centre back, and even right back if you wanted to, and he will get the job done with those work rates. That leads us on to FUT Captains Marcelo, and this card is extremely expensive for a reason. See, 5-star, left foot, high work rates, ridiculous statistics. As you can see, penalties, the only thing that's keeping his shooting down from not being 90 as well, and he has some good traits. The thing about this card is you can play him CDM, you can play him up front, you can play him on the wing, right back, left back, centre back, even in goal if you really wanted to. This card can play everywhere. He is a fantastic addition to the game. That then leads us on to our next defender, which is another left back demon, and you're probably sick of playing this card as you can play CDM. It is Team of the Year Cancelo with a 4-star, 5-star. In terms of statistics, very rounded. I have this card in my team and I play him at left wing if I need to, CDM and left back or centre back depending on my opponent's setup and team, and he is consistent, never ever lets me down. We are going to move on to our next defender. That is going to be FUT Birthday Dani Alves. You see 5-star, 5-star. 5'8", high medium, fantastic statistics again, and not the greatest traits, but he's one of these players that you can play anywhere. You can play on the wing, CDM, in the midfield, an attacking role, left back, right back. Because of that 5-star, 5-star, just makes him very versatile, very similar to Cancelo and Marcelo. That's going to lead us on to our next defender, which is Flashback Joe Gomez, the brand new addition. Again, the sweat season is full effect. 3-star, medium. Acceleration lets him down, so you do need to put a shadow on him. But in overall terms of ability, he is very good, very rounded. Helps you out massively with the links, especially with some of the other defenders we have mentioned. We are going to move on to our next defender now, and it had to be Flashback Varane. Them two together is basically a controller's nightmare. When you see the opponent using these two players, you're thinking to yourself, can I really be bothered to sit here and sweat this session? There's something about this card with his lower balance, it doesn't seem to affect him at all, and his passing and overall just annoyingness is amazing. Fantastic card. We are going to move on to our next defender now, and that is FUT Captains Chiellini. This card has been the bane of my life the last couple of weeks since he's come out. He's just an overall absolute nightmare to play against. Absolutely solid. 6'2" with that acceleration and sprint speed. He basically plays like a really small left back and right back and can cover almost every position, no problem. In terms of traits, nothing too crazy to talk about, but he's just a fantastic card. So if you have got this card or any others that I've mentioned so far, you are one of the pro players in FIFA for sure in terms of picking the best players. We're going to move on to our next defender now, and that's going to be another FUT Birthday. It's going to be Sergio Ramos. This card was extremely expensive when it came out, and is one card I just regret not doing, because again, he can play CDM, he can play the two centre-back roles, no problem. He seems to be so fast, it's ridiculous. He can cover up, no problem, and he has no problems in winning those aerial balls every single time. Only being 6 foot, but he seems to dominate the air. It's going to lead us on to Hakimi, Team of the Year. Now, I played this card at right back. If you like to have your overlapping right backs and left backs, he's going to do the job for you. Just because of how rounded he is, you can play him as a winger. I haven't done it myself, but I've seen a lot of people do it, and he's just very good. You don't need to touch his pace, as you can see there, 99 and 99. So that means you can put your chem style in another position to either boost up his shooting, his passing, or just anything else in overall. But this card is fantastic, especially with some of the links to some of the players that we have now. We're going to move on to our next player, and that's going to be this absolute demon of a centre-back, Team of the Year, Marquinhos. Again, ridiculous card, 90 pace with 90 acceleration, 90 sprint speed. Great agility and balance and reactions for someone at 6 foot. High defensive work rates, and okay traits overall, but because of his links and the meta this year, he just links to some of the best players in the game. and he is a fantastic price and card for this time of year. Moving on to our next player, we have got ourselves Team of the Season, Laporte. This is the Foot Champs Red version, doesn't matter. And he is ridiculous. I played against him a few times this weekend and I could not believe it. In Rivals, sweating it. And look at the stats of this card. For somebody that is 6'3" with 84 acceleration and 95 sprint speed, with that balance and agility, he is just a rock at the back. Great passing stats and dribbling stats. It's just everything about this card is right. Again, fantastic links to the Ruben Diaz or the Cancelo that we mentioned earlier. And he just links up really, really well, especially in the new addition being to the game. But let's go jump in to have a look at another player. That is going to be Team of the Season Timber. Again, I used this card and this card was fantastic. The recovery speed of this card is ridiculous. High medium work rates. As you can see, the 88 accelerations and 92 sprint speed for 5'10". He basically plays like a right back in centre back. With that short passing being so high with the composure, he doesn't misplace a pass with his feet. He can recover. He can catch up with some of these ridiculously fast strikers and attackers, and he can get the job done. There were problems with the links before, but now we have got some decent Team of the Season Eredivisie players. There is no problems with links with this card, and it's just a really fantastic card overall. We're going to move on to our next player now, and that's going to be Sol Campbell Moments. This is an icon you don't see very often, but every time I play against him, if you're playing someone that likes to sit back and deep in a position, in a defensive role, he is always in the way, and that's down to him being 6'2" with a low attack and work rates, and just how dominant he is in the air. Look at his jumping, exceptions, and headering accuracy being so high. With his composure, acceleration, and sprint speed also being very, very high. He is just a monster in the back. Very, very cheap as well now, and he just gets the job done. Moving on to our next player, we are going to be looking at Mings here. And Mings is an interesting one because Foot Captain's Mings, when I saw it, I was a bit like, oh, not a very good card at all. But was I wrong about this card? This card is fantastic. Look at that long and short passing with acceleration and sprint speed. Agility and balance for someone at 6'5", he absolutely dominates the air, and he's got the speed to keep up with the best strikers who are going to be playing that ball over the top and trying to get in behind you. He's just a fantastic player. Moving on to our next defender here, we have got ourselves Team of the Year honorable mentions Rudiger, and this card also is the bane of my life with the medium high work rates, 2-star, 3-star, 86 acceleration and sprint speed. You put a shadow on him and he is playing like a left back or a right back with that agility and balance being so high with composure. He's just an all-rounded defender. It's such a shame that they will not be getting Team of the Seasons because of the sanctions that have happened, and EA will not be giving him any more special cards because he would have been in Team of the Season, that is for sure. This card is just unbelievable. And that's going to lead us up to our last one for today's video. And that is going to be Foot Heroes Captain Cordoba. 2-star, 3-star, low height. He's got the best work rates for a centre-back. But look at that acceleration and sprint speed with the composure and the balance and the passing and the defensive awareness. Like this card, if you're doing crosses, it's got 99 jumpers, so you don't have to worry about that. In terms of traits, nothing too crazy. But this card is ridiculous. There's a reason why you'd rarely see him. Is because he's so expensive and he gets the job done. He is very, very rare in the game. Let me know if there's any players that you think I should add to the list into future videos, or if you have any of these players yourself. Don't forget to consider liking and subscribing, and I will catch you in the next video, which will be midfielders. See you.